got it.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Today we got another installment of Jacksonville drill lyrics that really happened from the Hip Hop Daily YouTube channel, man. Shout out Hip Hop Daily. Y'all know we rock with the content heavy. Now listen, man. Over the last, I'm gonna say over the last number of months, this whole year, we probably done like 1,000,001 videos about Jacksonville and about the beefs, the lyrics that happened, man. But honestly, man, it just, I don't know, man. It's just entertaining every time I watch it, man. So I like reacting to it. So look, we ain't doing no more talking. We ain't wasting no more time. Let's get it.
Rappers in Jacksonville don't just make up stories for the clout. This new generation of artists has gotten famous for rapping about real beef and crimes going on in the city, including shootings, murders, robberies, kidnappings, and more. Let's take a look at some Jacksonville rap lyrics that actually happened. Corbin got kidnapped. They found his bones where he was rot. Where's Corbin? Foolio beatbox remix.
I'm gonna tell you something about Foolio, man. Foolio need to chill. That's what Foolio need to do, man. The song he just released that we checked out last week, man, he got a little too vivid on that, man. Foolio, you gotta chill a little bit, man. We live in a different age where the internet runs everything, man. And what I mean by that, you know, listen, shit, Instagram damn near federalinformant.com. You gotta be careful what you put out there, man. I'm just saying on some real shit. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just being real, because, like, listen, this is how a lot of people get caught up. You got to be careful with this, man.
They found his bones where he was rot. Where's Corbin?
And that goes for any rapper. You know, when it comes down to this real street shit, man, be careful how much y'all really saying. You know what I mean?
Foolio beatbox remix. Jacksonville rapper Spot 'em Got 'em blew up with the track Beatbox in 2020. It was remixed by a ton of major names in the game, including Spot 'em Got 'em's homie, Foolio, who dropped his own version of the viral track, where he name drops a bunch of real people from Jacksonville, including a dude named Corbin, who was killed during a kidnapping. Corbin Johnson was an 18-year-old from Jacksonville, whose remains were found by police after he'd been missing for exactly a year and was last seen by his mother. On the day he went missing, he FaceTimed his friend and told her he was going to apply for a job at Amazon. His father confirmed that he had dropped him off for the interview at Amazon, then drove him to UPS to apply there as well. Corbin's father then brought him to his mother's house in Biscayne Circle after the job interviews. His father sent him a text the next morning, but didn't get a response, which he said was unusual. After the family did not hear from him for 48 hours, they officially filed a missing persons report. For about a year, the case went cold, and police had no leads on what might have happened to Corbin. Until just about a year later, a man was clearing some land with a tractor in the northwest side of the city. He uncovered what looked—
Now, I knew about the story. I didn't know that it took a year.
Until just about a year later, a man was clearing some land with a tractor in the northwest side of the city. He uncovered what looked like human remains that had been wrapped in either a plastic bag or a tarp. By that point, the body had already decomposed, and all that was left was the bones. But it was later confirmed that they belonged to Corbin Johnson. The police had little evidence to launch an investigation, and his murder remains unsolved.
To do somebody like that, you know, I used to have this perception that Jacksonville, you know, Jacksonville Jaguars, the best city in Florida to live, but this shows how gruesome shit can get. Like, that's next level personal right there.
They belong to Corbin Johnson.
That's sad.
The police had little evidence to launch an investigation, and his murder remains unsolved. The word on the street is that Corbin was set up by a girl he knew, who sold him out to the ops. They kidnapped him over a drug debt that one of his homies owed, and when they refused to pay up, they killed Corbin and disposed of his body. This is an unconfirmed rumor, but would explain why he suddenly went missing. Foolio has mentioned Corbin several times, including once on Instagram Live, where he claimed that his worst fear was ending up like Corbin.
Man, that Corbin real deal got kidnapped, bro. That's my worst, biggest fear, bro.
It doesn't seem like he had anything to do with Corbin's disappearance, even though he talks about him in a song. Unless he's just trying to make it look that way. In a different song, Foolio raps about one of his childhood friends who ended up catching a murder charge because he wasn't covering his face with a mask. No face caught life because his ass ain't wear a mask. Never cared, Foolio. No face, aka cracker.
No face caught a case because he ain't wear a mask. No face, no case. But no face had a case. That's crazy.
Because his ass ain't wear a mask.
Wow.
Never cared, Foolio. No Face, aka Cracker Jack, was one of Foolio's day one homies. The two had known each other since at least middle school and came up in the streets together. But while one would go on to become a famous rapper, the other will be sentenced to life in prison after the murder of 22-month-old Aiden McLendon. In January 2016, No Face and another associate—
He killed a baby? Had to have been, I think I remember this too. It was like caught in the crossfire.
22-month-old Aiden McLendon. In January 2016, No Face and another associate went to take out a man named Reginald Williams. Williams had just been dropped off at his house by his cousin, Tamisia Brown, who was driving a car that also contained Aiden McClendon and his great-grandmother. Just after Williams got out of Brown's car, he approached another vehicle, but then turned and walked away. As he turned around, shots started going off. The shooters missed Brown, but they ended up hitting Aiden in his car seat. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition and later passed away. His death was a major shock to the city of Jacksonville.
Can you imagine the parents, dog? My mind would be so fucked up that I would have to hurt somebody after this. Ain't no way you just take my baby like that, man. Come on now. I'd end up getting life after that shit. My mind would be so fucked up, and I would plead insanity after that shit.
In critical condition and
RIP to that baby.
Later passed away. His death was a major shock to the city of Jacksonville and forced the police to crack down on gang violence in the city. About a week later, police pulled over Henry Hayes IV, aka No Face, while he was driving his father's car. They discovered a 9mm pistol and later determined that it matched the murder weapon that had killed Aiden. So just a week before a 17...
Where did they get that video from? This is what I mean. Stop putting this shit online.
Pistol and later...
Guarantee this was all for Instagram, man.
Later determined that it matched the murder weapon that had killed Aiden. So just a week before his 17th birthday, No Face was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Police also arrested a second suspect named Kwame Richardson, who they believe also shot at Williams on the day of Aiden's murder. Tamisia Brown later testified in court that she recognized No Face as the killer because Kwame was wearing a mask. She told the court, "I heard large pops. I paid attention to the person I could see because he was hanging out the window with a gun." She said that she saw Kwame first, but he was wearing a mask, so she didn't pay close attention to him because she couldn't see his face. Instead, she focused on No Face, who was leaning out of the car with no mask and both hands on a 9mm. Both men were found guilty of the murder and sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Aiden McClendon. In this bar, Foolio was talking about how his childhood friend might have beat the case if he was wearing a mask, but he got sloppy and a 1-year-old tragically lost his life. But if you thought that was wild, Foolio also disrespected an op named Big Baby who got shot and killed at a bus stop. Big Baby caught at the bus. Foolio dropped out of high school in the 9th grade after he was shot while getting off the school bus. He got shot because earlier that day, a dude
nigga dropped out of school. I mean, shit. If I get off the school bus and somebody shoot me, do it look like I'm going to school the next day? Or the day after that? Or the week or the month after that? Nah, ma. Either you homeschool me or I'm dropping out. I'm not getting shot getting off the bus. Fuck I look like. Foolio said I'm done with that. I'm not getting on that motherfucker no more.
If you thought that was wild, Foolio...
He probably said, "Mom, you could drop me off at school." She said, "Boy, you better get your ass on that bus." He said, "All right, bet. I'm not going back to school."
Also disrespected an op named Big Baby who got shot and killed at a bus stop. Big Baby caught at the bus. Foolio dropped out of high school in the 9th grade after he was shot while getting off the school bus. He got shot because earlier that day, a dude from a rival gang named Big Baby had been killed while waiting for the bus. In December 2014, Big Baby was waiting for a bus near 13th Street and Canal Street around 6:30 a.m. A family friend said that she had dropped him off to go to school just minutes before he was killed. Neighbors reported hearing as many as 15 shots, and police later found at least 12 shell casings at the scene. By the time authorities arrived, Big Baby was already dead. Big Baby played football at the local high school and was well known and loved by many people in the community. Foolio went to the same high school, but was in an op neighborhood. Everyone at school thought Foolio had something to do with Big Baby's murder because their two gangs had beef. On a live stream with Aiden Ross, Foolio talked about that day. He said that he had nothing to do with the murder and was on his way to school when it happened. But kids at his school still thought that Foolio was the killer.
So when I went to school, everybody was walking up to me, "Bro, they say you had something to do with such and such dying." I'm like, "Bro, what the f***? How?" When I was really on the way to school. Like the police came and interrogated me about the shit and all. Like when I was in the hospital shot. So boom.
It got so bad, he was about to fight 3 different people. Then he ended up getting on their bus, even though he had smoked with almost everybody. He ended up getting off in an area called Aaron Drive. When he got off the bus, he sat down to roll up some weed. But while he was rolling up, someone pulled up and shot at him. He got up to run away, but ended up getting shot in the hip. He saw the shooter was still going after his friends, so he decided to army crawl away. He managed to make it to a random lady's yard and asked for help, but the woman wasn't having none of that and told Foolio to get out of her yard. He told her he was shot, but she didn't care and still told him to get out. So he decided to play...
Well, damn! Miss Lady, help me out. I'm shot. Dawg, I did not know that. So he got on the bus with people he had smoked with after the same day that this happened. The same day that what was his name? Big Baby got killed. All that shit. They was, man, listen, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say. That's crazy.
To army crawl away. He managed to make it to a random lady's yard and asked for help, but the woman wasn't having none of that and told Foolio to get out of her yard. He told her he was shot, but she didn't care and still told him to get out. So he decided to play dead on her lawn until the shooter was gone. He eventually made it to a...
That's smart. See, it's some shit you really learn in the street, man. Just play dead. Like, listen, you want me gone, I'm about to... Shit, the fuck?
A hospital and had to have 4 surgeries to repair his hip. The police interrogated him about Big Baby's murder while he was recovering, but later cleared his name. After that, Foolio never returned to high school because he felt it was too dangerous. He and rappers he's affiliated with, like K-So, would often diss Big Baby in their music, the same way rappers from Chicago diss Tuka and Lil Mark, who also died while waiting for a bus. So, he may not have had anything to do with the murder, but his ops still aren't happy about the constant disrespect of their dead homie. But Foolio isn't the only one to rap about real situations.
Yeah, I would probably stop rapping about that if I was Foolio, man. But this nigga stay on demon time.
Situations going on in Jacksonville. This next rapper brought up the death of one of Foolio's close homies, Rod K. Rod K died because he freezed up. Spinna Benz is a rapper associated with Young and Ace and his ATK gang. He was featured on the famous Who I Smoke song, which is a murder anthem dedicated to disrespecting dead friends and family members of Foolio and his gang. But that wasn't the only time that ATK has taken shots at Foolio and his music. On this track, Spinna Benz disrespects rapper Rod K, who was shot and killed outside the Hilltop Apartments in November 2020. Rod K had just started to build a buzz with tracks like Strap Story and Hot Boys. It seemed
I still gotta react to some Rod K. I don't think I ever reacted to Rod K.
Like he might be the next rapper from Jacksonville to blow up, thanks to his emotional rapping style and his affiliations with Foolio. But before he could reach his full potential, he was tragically murdered. On November 20th, 2020, police responded to a call about gunshots being fired in the parking lot of the Hilltop Village Apartments in the Moncrief neighborhood of Jacksonville. Paramedics arrived and found 2 gunshot victims in the parking lot. At first, it seemed like their injuries were not life-threatening, but Rod would later pass away after being brought to the hospital. Rod K's death came just a day after the murder of another KTA affiliate who went by the name Spaz2X. Spaz was also killed in the parking lot of the Hilltop Village Apartments, leading police to believe that the shootings were related. There are several theories about what happened to Rod K. Some say that he went out looking for the person who killed Spaz and the ops got the drop on him first. Others claim that he was even set up and backdoored by his own people. Whatever happened to Rod, it's no surprise at this point that Foolio's enemies would use his death to taunt him. Spinna Benz not only name drops Rod K on the song, he also makes a reference to him on Who I Smoke in the line, 12 paramedics couldn't save your life, boy. Plus, he also threw a shot at Rod K on the track Drill Time, where he raps, I told y'all Rod K was dead before his body had got found.
Why the hell would you say that? Why the hell would you rap that, man? It'd be hard to defend these niggas, man. Like, damn. I told y'all Rod K was dead before his body got found. Like, how did you know that? Why would you put this in a song? Y'all, this nigga is wild. All these niggas is wild, man.
On the track Drill Time, where he raps, I told y'all Rod K was dead before his body had got found.
Ain't no way he said
Jacksonville,
that.
Nothing is off limits, and both sides have used each other's dead homies to get at their enemies, even if they had nothing to do with the hit. That's probably part of the reason that violence has gotten so out of control and rappers continue to lose their lives and freedom.
Yeah.
But Spinna Benz isn't the only ATK affiliated rapper to take shots at the ops in his music. This next rapper bragged about stealing a verse from a KTA affiliate who had recently been killed. I just stole a verse, he dead, and can't come back. In this bar, K-So is throwing shade at Tiki, a rapper affiliated with Foolio, Soulja K, and Trey D. Tiki was killed on May 7th, 2019, after a shooting that occurred on the 5900 block of Cristobal Avenue, which is just north of the Hilltop Apartments, where Rod K and Spaz2X died. 2 innocent bystanders noticed Tiki bleeding and helped move him to Lila Street to wait for the police. Near the scene, they also found an SUV riddled with bullet holes. Tiki would later die from his injuries. Before his death, Tiki was a well-known rapper in the area. He appeared on a song called Crunch Time with Foolio and others back in 2016. In the song, he drops the bar, I'm back where it's at, in all black with a Mac, I'm the type to run off with a sack. After Tiki was killed, K-So dropped the song Bang.
Pause on the last part of that. Pause. This shit crazy though, man. It's so many casualties though, man. RIP to everybody that passed in the middle of this beef, man. Cause it really is sad. A lot of these youngins in high school type shit, man.
I'm the type to run off with a sack. After Tiki was killed, K-So dropped the song Bang It Out, where he jacks the exact bar, followed by the line, I just stole a verse, he dead, he can't come back. He can also be seen watching the Crunch Time video on his phone to make the reference even more obvious.
I didn't even notice that either, man.
So, Queso is not only disrespecting the dead, he was stealing his dead ops bars and then admitting to it in the same verse.
Wow.
If that wasn't disrespectful enough, Queso can also be seen wearing a jersey with the name Bibby on the back in different parts of the video. Bibby was the younger brother of Foolio, who was also killed in 2019 outside the Hilltop Village apartments.
Like I said, youngins, though. That's the tragic part of this shit. It's like as fans, we see, oh, he really just said that in the song. Oh shit, I want to hear his response. I want to hear what he got to say. But in real life, man, it's people really dying behind this shit, man. That's what a lot of people seem to lose sight of. People are losing sons every day in this beef. It's more than just music. It's deeper than this music shit, man. And that's the harsh reality of it, man. Like I said, RIP to everybody that, you know, that's...
Bibby was the younger brother of Foolio, who was also killed in 2019 outside the Hilltop Village apartments. Both Bibby and Tiki would also be referenced in the chorus of the famous Who I Smoke song, bringing the disrespect of the dead to new levels. Queso would eventually be arrested for Bibby's murder, as well as the murder of another KTA-affiliated rapper named Lil Buck. He's currently fighting both cases. So shouting out dead ops in songs, especially when it comes to murders you may have been involved in, probably isn't the smartest thing to do from a legal standpoint. But the war in Jacksonville has gotten out of control, and both sides are guilty of getting payback and then bragging about it in the music. These are just a few of the wildest references to real events that happened. And
this shit, like I said, every reaction that I do to this Jacksonville beef, man, I haven't had this much, just like, I don't even know what the word is, man. I haven't been this shocked over beef since the Chicago drill scene started popping off, man. This shit crazy, man. Like I said, RIP to all the fallen ones that, you know, just got caught in the middle of this or just got caught up in some shit in this, man. RIP to them. It's crazy, man. Like I said, it's real out here. It's real out here, man. Link down below in the description for y'all to check this video out in its entirety, uninterrupted. If y'all new to the channel, y'all rock with me, want daily reaction videos, man, hit that subscribe button for me. To the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV. I'm out.
I ain't gotta do too much. I swear that these niggas, they be doing too much. I ain't gotta